My quick story about how I got my job with the Royals. I was 8. I loved baseball. My brothers actually turned me on to Royals radio broadcasts and baseball. And my first year of Little League, I hit .087. Now, if you follow baseball, the best players in the business hit about 300, and some of the worst players hit about 200. I hit .087. I had an accidental hit down the right field line. I'm sure my eyes were closed when I swung. Ended up at third base because I was little and fast. And I walked a lot, so I did score some runs. And then I hit about .250 the next year, and about that time I figured, probably future Major League Baseball players hit about 600 in Little League. There are some late bloomers, but I didn't think this was going to happen for me, so I decided that I would make a audible, so to speak, at age 9 or 10, and decided I wanted to be a play-by-play announcer for the Royals. Got a job at a local radio station when I was 16. That got me interested in broadcasting in general. Spent the next 20 years in radio and television, including 9 years here at Fox 4 in town as a morning show anchor and reporter. And I got a call out of the blue one day from Ginger Salem, who was Dan Glass's executive assistant. Dan's the president of the club, his dad, David, the owner. And they wanted to know if I would be interested in emceeing a Royals Charities event. This was 2005. And I was thrilled because I, to this day, have been very, very excited and a proud Royals fan. I grew up at a great time. My dad took me to my first Royals game in 1976 against the A's. Reggie Jackson hit a 3-run home run for them. John Mayberry hit a home run for us. We won 7-6, and I was basically hooked from there on out. And in 1976, that was a good time to be an 8-year-old kid watching the Royals for the next 10 years because they went to the playoffs a lot and the World Series a couple of times. But I had stuck with them through the lean years and got a call and got to go out and MC this event. They asked me back the next year, and I struck up a conversation with Dan. And a couple of months later, I became the club's first Vice President of Community Affairs and Publicity. In Major League Baseball, they're set up different ways, but Community Affairs and Publicity is, like I told you, all the good stuff that we do in the community, but also publicizing about it. And my relationships with the media here in town and my lack of fear of getting up in front of people and talking about my favorite baseball team has made it a great job. And I really do enjoy it. From the win last night over the former Cy Young Award winner, who used to play for the Royals, to unfortunate incidents and losses over the weekend in Pittsburgh, we take the highs and the lows and we just kind of deal with it. And we're still very excited that this team is going to be a consistent contender. We got the All-Star Game as a result, a direct result of our owner David Glass's friendship with Bud Selig. Now, fair or not, I've been told that getting an All-Star Game is the most unilateral decision in all of sports. The commissioner decides where it's going to be. And if you're not crazy about that setup, he said that he's going to retire after next year, and maybe they'll change it at that time. But we were very, very excited because we were awarded something that we hoped would happen after we renovated the stadium in 2009. The All-Star Game, you may have heard time and time again, is not just a game anymore. In '73, they flew in. I think they had a luncheon, they had a workout, they played the game, and they flew out of Kansas City. Our last All-Star Game, the first year at Royal Stadium at the time. Now it's a week-long celebration, and really a summer-long celebration. We've been getting so much media coverage, both locally and nationally and internationally, as Kansas City and as the Royals and as the Midwest, that's why we kind of consider it sort of an all-star summer. It's going to start on Friday, July the 6th, before that Tuesday game, with the opening of FanFest, just right over here at Bartle Hall at the Kansas City Convention Center. That runs all 5 days leading up to the game. There will be a community activity every single day where we will be at a ribbon cutting or a groundbreaking where money that's coming from the Home Run Derby, what's called the Workout Day, will be going into the community for community and charity events. In other words, that Monday activity, the proceeds go to charity, both national for MLB partners and local. And I'll explain a couple of those in a minute. I can sort of skip to Sunday, but on Sunday morning, right here in downtown, we're going to have a 5K run walk. Proceeds go to 3 cancer charities, 100% of the proceeds. They were able to secure enough sponsorship that every single registrant who spent $25, $30 to get to play a part of that 5K, it all goes to cancer research. And then Sunday night, not doing this completely in chronological order, but Sunday night, starting at about 4:30, we'll have the Futures Game, which is a minor league exhibition between the best minor league players, and then the celebrity softball game after. So that's Sunday. The home run derby's on Monday. Man, that's become almost as popular as the game itself. Unfortunately, Steve Balboni still holds the Royals all-time record for home runs at 36. So we don't get too many guys in the home run derby. And now that I think about it, we haven't had a whole lot of guys in the All-Star game, have we? We'd like to at least pump it up to 2, because every team automatically gets 1, but then the All-Star game is on Tuesday. One really fun event that you all need to be aware about is going to be on Tuesday afternoon at 1 o'clock. At the Country Club Plaza will be the red carpet parade, where all of the players that are participating in the All-Star game that day will be on the back of a Chevy pickup truck going down a red carpet at the plaza. There'll be those bicycle racks set up along the side, but you'll be awfully close. We think that it's going to be probably 5 and 6 deep, and a really neat opportunity for people downtown. Kids are out of school, so people bring their kids, and whether you get out to the ballpark or not those 3 days, you can see the players up close. A couple of other things that we're doing with the All-Star Legacy Dollars, which are the money that's being left here in town. We hear all sorts of estimates about how much economic development the All-Star Summer is going to bring. I've heard $60 million, I've heard $70 million, more in some cities, less than others. But from a charitable standpoint, because the All-Star Game is coming to town, we're going to help renovate a Boys and Girls Club of Greater Kansas City, 2 youth fields, provide an exhibit for the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, have a great new wing at Operation Blessing, Operation Breakthrough. There's a program we do called Operation Blessing, but Operation Breakthrough here downtown. And about $250,000 in scholarships for college kids that might, potential college kids that might otherwise be able to go to college. And the idea behind that is if you go to Satchel Paige Stadium, or if you go to, and this will be interesting if any of you know where this is, Mulkey Field. It's a small field,
West Side.
West Side, Guadalupe Center helps with that. Mulkey Field is right over here by the FBI building. It's a neat baseball field, and it's going to be completely renovated for those kids to play on a really cool field. And these scholarships, and so we can say 5 years from now, that field looks fantastic. That looks that way because the 2012 All-Star Game came to Kansas City. Or these kids, and I can say kids now, can't I? Because I told you I was 8 in 1976. So as I approach 45 this fall, I call them kids. These kids that are going to college, partially because of Major League Baseball and the All-Star Game, can say, I got to go to college, in part because the All-Star Game came to Kansas City. So from a community and charity standpoint, that's just great for us. From a PR and publicity standpoint, it's also a great opportunity for us because on Friday, on Saturday, on Sunday, on Monday, and on Tuesday, we'll be at different events that are benefiting from these legacy dollars. The commissioner, our owner, other VIPs will be attending these events, and it really has become just an important part of All-Star Week. And then the biggest thing, of course, is the game on Tuesday night that brings us kind of national and international coverage. I went to the All-Star Game last year in Phoenix. It was the first one I got to go to. A bunch of us went down and scouted it out. And there is a sense, you're not probably going to feel it because you haven't lived the life that some of us in the baseball world have lived. There is a sense by about the second inning of All-Star that you're so exhausted that the game is almost an afterthought. For you who attend, it won't be. And I feel strongly about that because of the number of people who have come up to me and said, I was 10 years old when my dad took me to the '73 All-Star Game, and they start listing details about that night. That was 1973. It's a fairly long time ago to be remembering one detail after the next. And just creating those memories, I think, is going to be a really important aspect of All-Star Summer.